Alo, xin chào mọi người. Cảm ơn bạn đã quay trở lại với học tiếng Anh OK. Mình tên là Duy hoặc là David, and today I want to share a little bit about what some of the most important things in my life are. So we're going to be talking about 9 values that I have that I try to live by so that I can find the most fulfillment in my life. And this is a great opportunity for you to practice listening normal English, how someone might describe what's important to them, what matters to them. And hopefully you'll be able to pick up some new vocabulary that you can start using every day. So to start off, what is a value? A value is kind of the things that we find to be the most important in the way that we act. So for me, a value is kind of like how I might go about my day, the things that I choose to be the most important and the things that I want to focus the most of my time on, because those are the things that I value. Value has kind of two different meanings in English. There's the value of like price, how much it's worth, and then value as in what we find to be important. And they kind of go together in the idea that a value is something that you assign a lot of worth to. The more worth something has, the more value it has. And if you have values, those are things that you see as very worthwhile, very important. So the first value I want to talk about that I find to be very important is authenticity. And in Vietnamese, this translation would be something similar to sự chân thật. So very real, very authentic. You're not trying to be something different. So what this might look like in my life is sometimes when we hang out with different people, we act in different ways. But when I see authenticity, it makes me think that I'm acting the same around different people no matter what. So I'm being the same person with one person as I would with the other. And to me, that feels good because it's not me trying to pretend to be something else that I'm not. And I love that. I love being authentic. And you can tell when people are being fake with you. And I don't want to be someone that comes across as fake. I want to try to be the most real that I can, the most authentic that I can. The second value that I find really important is kindness. So this one can be related to mostly other people because kindness is how you treat other people. You want people to feel cared about. You want people to feel like they're special. And you can do that by saying kind things to them. You can give compliments. You can open doors. You can say hi. Like, there's so many different ways to be kind. And it's just a simple way of connecting with other people. It's a simple way of saying, hey, I see you and I care about you and I know that you're there. And I love that idea of just being kind to people because it really can help them have a better day and help you feel good because you're helping them. And then it's this positive cycle that's just so nice. An awesome example of this for me in my life recently, there was a really hard situation, a really hard challenge that I was going through. And I had a lot of people reaching out to me saying, hey, I'm thinking about you. I care about you. I know life is hard right now. And they were just there saying that they were there. And that meant a lot to me. That was a moment of kindness from other people where they were giving of themselves without expecting anything in return. And I appreciated that so much. And I want to be able to give that to other people. The third value that I find to be very important is respect. One of the things that gets me really angry is when people aren't treating me with respect or treating other people with respect. And kind of what I feel respect is just treating people as if they have worth. And it's because they do. People are worth something. Everyone has value. And to treat someone as if they're below you, as if they're less than you is not respectful. And to me, that gets me angry because I realize that people have value. People are incredible. They're awesome. And I would love to be treated as if I have value as well because it makes us all feel better when we're being respectful, when we're being kind to each other. And I think an area where respect can sometimes be difficult in today's world is between different cultures or religions or nations. There's all these differences between how we live our lives. And sometimes when someone's doing something different from us, it seems like, oh, that's weird. We should make fun of that. That's not something normal. But that to me just doesn't work. It's not our place to make fun of those things. That's not what it is, because for some people that is a real life. That is what they do. That is something that is important to them. And to be respectful is to recognize that that is important to them, and you shouldn't be making fun of those things. The fourth value that I really appreciate and find meaningful is love. And this can be expanded to a lot of different domains and areas of life. I'm not just talking about romantic love, I'm talking about love between friends and love between people, and just how we show that we care for other people. And one of the ways for me that I find we can show that we care is by offering our time. And there are different love languages. For me, quality time is one that shows how much someone really does love you, because they could be doing something else, but they chose to give their time to you. So if you want to expand your ability to love others, think about it in that way. Maybe try giving more time to someone that you care about. And one of the things about giving more time could also just include not being distracted while you're with that person. So something I've tried lately is active listening, where when I'm talking with someone, I want to be genuinely engaged. I don't want to be sitting on my phone kind of just like, yeah, yep, yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, no, I know what you're saying. Still on my phone, because that isn't that full connection. It's not giving your undivided attention. That's something that I think is really important in this life. The fifth value that I have is hard work. I think it's so important to work hard, because if we don't work hard, we're not able to add as much to this life as we want. There's so many things that we could do to help other people, to find more meaning and purpose in life, when we're working hard, when we're trying to do the best that we can with what we've been given. And I know it can be hard to work sometimes, and it's okay to take breaks. It's okay to rest. I know that. And I know that that helps me work better in the future. But I think it's more important to focus on trying to be diligent in the work while you're there. Similar to like what we were talking about with love, giving our time, our undivided attention to that work so that we can do it to the best of our abilities. One example of this in my life is this YouTube channel. I have put in a lot of work along with Quote. We have both spent time working on this channel and building it and trying to build connections with you, because we loved our time in Vietnam and we loved the Vietnamese people and we wanted to help them in the way that we could. And this is something that we feel like is helpful, is teaching English. So hopefully this has been helpful for you. And if it has, feel free to like and subscribe. We love all of you and we are so grateful for your support. The sixth value I want to talk about is patience. And patience is something that has been really difficult for me. It's taken a long time for me to learn how to be patient. And patience is kind of delaying what you want now for something you want later. So, for example, when I was working as a volunteer for my church, I wasn't able to come to Vietnam as soon as I would have liked because I couldn't get a visa. I spent about a year and a half in the United States doing volunteer work until I could get my visa to go to Vietnam and then volunteer there. During that year and a half, it was a struggle because I was sitting waiting to go to Vietnam. I wanted to go so bad, but I just couldn't. I wasn't allowed to go yet. So after a long time of waiting and waiting, I developed this patience that someday I would get to go and someday it would be okay. But right now, I'm not able to go. And being patient was being willing to accept that things aren't going to come right now, but it's all right. I can still live in the moment. I can still live this life. The seventh value I want to talk about is honesty. And the reason I feel like this is important is because it's another way of kind of showing our respect, our love, our kindness towards other people. Because when we're honest, we're not trying to hide things. We're not trying to hurt people. And one of the big reasons that honesty is so important is because it's one of the ways to build trust in a relationship. This could be with friends, with family, with a romantic partner. It could be with any of these people. And the way to build trust is to be honest, to be open, to be vulnerable, to share with them the truth. And if you don't do that, if you're constantly lying, then people don't trust you. They can't trust you. And one of the key moments in my life where I realized that honesty is important to me is back in high school, I asked my parents if I could go to a basketball game, and it was kind of far away from my house, so I had to drive a long way on some scary roads that were more dangerous. And after a lot of talking on the phone, because they were out of town, we decided, well, you can't go unless you go on the bus with the school. And I was like, no, I'm not going to go on the bus. I don't have a ticket. I can't do all that. So I lied to them and said I would. And then I drove myself up there with a couple of my friends. And once I got home, I realized, man, that just didn't feel good. I didn't like the fact that I had lied. So I called my parents and I was like crying. And I told them, I was like, I lied to you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to, well, I did mean to lie, but I didn't want to keep that as part of our relationship. I valued my parents' trust more than anything I would want to lie about. The eighth thing that I think is really important is a desire to learn. In this life, we have so many opportunities to learn. We can learn on YouTube. We can learn from books. We can go to school. We can talk to people around us. There are so many opportunities to learn and so many things to learn. And what I love about learning is how it opens up the world to you. You're able to experience different lives. You're able to see new skills and all sorts of different things that'll be able to help you find more meaning, find more direction, find more purpose in this life. And you're going to be able to be more capable as you learn. One of the skills that I'm learning right now is how to play chess. I've always wanted to learn how to play chess, and I just haven't had the time. So I recently I got on the internet, looked up chess.com and started playing chess. I don't know anything, but as I keep practicing, I get better and I get better and I start winning every now and then. And it's so fun to develop a new skill. I enjoy that. The process of going from not knowing anything to knowing something is so fun to me. I love that. And I hope that you also love learning. If you don't, that's okay. But for me, that's something very important. The ninth value I want to talk about is compassion. And compassion is a beautiful one for me because this is where you're able to recognize people in their faults, in their weaknesses, in their struggles, and still love them and still care for them and show them that you value them. And these kind of tie into respect and love and kindness and all of those. But this compassion to me is really accepting that people aren't perfect and that's okay. And you can still love them even if they have faults, if they have weaknesses. And you can even direct that towards yourself. You can recognize, oh, I am not perfect, but I can still love myself. I can still appreciate the good that I do. And for me, that's been so powerful. I've recently been diving into meditation, like in a video previously, I talked about some things that were helpful for me. And that was one of those things, is being able to be more compassionate towards myself. So yeah, hopefully this has been interesting for you to listen to. There's been a lot of new vocabulary, a lot of fun words, and a lot of descriptive words that I hope you can take and use in your own life. I'd love to hear about what you value. So please comment down below. Let me know what your values are, what things you find to be important in life. And if you want to learn a little bit more about some of the things that help me find joy in life, you can watch this video about positive psychology. Bye bye, yeah.